Tá aí, THEOFLIX, o nome dele, kart 51.
O time Bravado tá em festa. 15 posições escaladas.
Subiu o Monte Everest.
Vem pra receber quadriculada. Lá, não foi da vida.
THEOFLIX vence de forma brilhante.
Da peça, destaque do jogo, tipo vampícia de baque. Ouço falar é que o esforço vence o talento. Gosto desse argumento.
Full field, but 22 drivers will transition in. That's the amount of drivers that will head straight to the main event. Top 22 going to the A main, the rest into the B main. Tyrone Kemper for Speed Concepts Racing. Very impressive here this weekend. Tyrone from Louisiana will start on the pole alongside Marco Samet in the Brandon Jarczyk Crack Racing number 875. Max Cristia and Mateo Calderon will be on row number 2. theosalomao and Felipe Benito occupy row number 3. Ashton Moon, driver we saw win a number of races last year as a mini Swift driver. His first year here in junior here running for Speed Concepts Racing. He'll be alongside the TKG Borel driver Nico Katowski in the number 892. We'll wrap up the top 10 with Paralyn USA's Alessandro Truchot on the inside, Edgar Rodriguez on the outside in the 876, Martin Jaramillo and Joaquin Gorlero on row number 6. Julian Rivera on the inside of row 7, starting 13th alongside John McClellan, who did a great job from the first group of qualifying, able to work his way into the top 14 here in the order. Keith Lewis Jr. and Kai Mars on row number 8. Grayson Walcott and Juan Jose Paramo, row 9. Your top 20 drivers, rounded out by Sebastian Bodegas and Iago Lempin. Working back here further to Alex Miller and Valentino Monta on row 11. Luke Fedowitz and Arthur Barbe on row number 12. Facunda Hernandez, Ryan Most. There you go back to top 26. The remainder of the field set there. The drivers now working their way into the staging lanes. Our first of 9 pre-finals for you here. Top 22 here are going to go to the A main. We are underway. Green, green, green. Racing into turn number 1. Oh, trying 3 wide a couple plays, maybe even 4 wide a bit deeper into the field. You wonder why we have some of the issues deep in the field. 2 wide up front, 3 wide in the middle, 4 wide at the very tail of the field. That's where we often see drivers having some trouble here through turn number 5. 1 dropping a wheel a little further back, not the full mass exodus to the outside of turn number 5 we've seen on numerous occasions throughout the weekend. Nonetheless, drivers settling in to get things underway. Tyrone Kemper Jr., I believe, out to the early lead here, trying to set the pace on the opening track around this 13 turn facility. They'll work their way now up into turn number 10. A couple of drivers looking to the inside. Again, a very enticing place to overtake, especially on the opening circuit when everybody's slowing down. 1 driver around with the yellow flag flying. Otherwise, we'll give you a top 10 rundown when they work their way through. There's a move a little further back, trying to get that job done to the inside of 13. Not enough of a rotation to get out of the corner with enough speed. Salomao potentially to the lead right now. Wow. Kemper had the spot at one point, but he has fallen back into P3. Salomao, Cristia, Kemper, Woon, and Truchot. A good start for both Julie Rivera and Ashton Woon. +3 for Woon, +4 for Truchot, and some contact further back. The 873 involved in that one there. That is Maddox Ruiz. He's involved with a couple of other drivers. Contact coming through turns 1 and 2, but underway with a great start. +4 on the opening lap for theosalomao.
theosalamao's Orsolon Racing Tony Kart only has a car length back, and then really this whole pack, you know, this is a different story from yesterday, Rob. How many races ultimately had a 2 or 3 second gap from one group to the next because of someone going instantly defensive on the first lap? And while there was a bit of jockeying, a bit of defense, a bit of offense, it's kind of a little more of one long string of go-karts. I won't call it a train because they're not all close and bumper to bumper and attached. And Marco Samet, those Ryan Norberg moments you talked about, those good drivers that maybe fall back but slowly pick them apart. You can kind of almost play it like hopscotch or leapfrog from one group to the next because they're only about a half second apart.
The one I'm watching in that particular vein is Tyrone Kemper Jr. You started on the pole position. You didn't get the lead on the opening circuit. You fell back to 3rd. You know you've got good pace. You were 2nd quick in qualifying. Now can you put your head back down and work your way to the front? Of course, this is Tyrone Kemper's opportunity here in the junior category. First year as a junior, running for Speed Concepts Racing, one of the top teams in the sport. The Louisiana driver there in the 834 has had a good weekend already to start off the 2025 campaign. And that's something we have to remember. This is for so many drivers, is that first weekend taking the big step up, whether it's junior to senior, mini up into the junior category for Tyrone Kemper, and a number of the drivers here. You want to get out of the gate strongly. You want to feed the confidence and the momentum moving forward. Thus far, a pretty solid run so far.
Let's take a look at that quick replay of how the opening lap kind of spurred out here, presented by shopakr.com. Look at this moment right here. P5 to P1 in about 4 corners, first up to second, and then boom, down on the inside as Kemper Jr. just left that door about a lane and a half wide, and that was all Theo needed. He was able to get through to the lead, and he's held it since. So great start there for theosalomao.
Yeah, Max Christie able to follow Theo through there, and I'll give it up to Tyrone Kemper. He could have forced the issue, I think, a little bit there, trying to run the outside, but better to kind of check back and slide back into third. Better live to fight another day, another lap. He's now closed back up on Max Christie, so you can see that there he is there. Tyrone Kemper looking to see if he can't go back into P2. Would not be surprised to see a pass happen, potentially coming down here into turn number 5. He'll look to the bottom of the racetrack. Indeed, book it. Tyrone Kemper Jr. back to P2. He'll defend, cover down the inside over in turn number 6. Probably didn't need to do that. We'll lose a bit of run there, and you can see Christie, I think, saw it happen. Like, no, let's not let him pull away in front of us. Kemper, though, back into the second position.
At the end of the day here for both of them, they're in great starting spots. Either way, it's still just a pre-final, so keep it moving and stay away from the pack behind that could potentially drag you into a fight further back, because, you know, if you go from 2nd to 5th or 2nd to 10th, that's realistically 3rd or 4th to 19th or 20th. Yeah. So you want to be even more conservatively aggressive, if you will, than a regular pre-final, and Max Christie doing just that, saying, all right, I get it, you want to lead us, fine, but I don't want to go back any further, so I'll push you, just stop blocking, basically, let's go.
We talked about the qualifying and how good you wanted to do if you were in one of the slower groups. John McClellan was able to do a good job in qualifying, but currently he's the driver to watch on the bubble right now. 22nd position for John McClellan. He's right behind Facundo Hernandez and right ahead of Arthur Barbe. Barbe up 1 spot, John down 8, so he's kind of hold on to the spot here. That's the final transfer. Early still in the run. We're just getting to the halfway point here, but we'll keep an eye, of course, on the drivers right there on the bubble.
How about the driver on the move right now? At least the most movement inside the top 10. Julian Rivera's Orsolone Tony Kart, the man in 6th there on the 804. He's right 3rd in line here behind Marco Samet. Actually might be a little bit further back this lap. Went back a little as Alessandro Truccio goes by on Ashton Woon, but Julian Rivera started 13th. He was up 7. He'll drop back to now only up 5. But a march up the board for Julian. And as Tyrone Kemper Jr. gets another lap cleanly ahead of Max Christie, there's bad news here, Rob, and that is they're not making any inroads to the race leader. theosalomao pulled away a full 10th that lap by himself, and that's why we've got our cameras back here at this dogfight to get into the show. Look at this, Luke Fedowitz trying to fend them all off right there just on the bubble spot.
That's it. Fedowitz now, actually, he's in 16th. Manta 17th. John McClellan up a couple of positions. Bubble now is limping back in 22nd spot. So again, well, so that was at least the last time they came by the stripe. That's not with the battle you're watching on the racetrack as well. Still remain 5 more corners of the lap coming out of turn number 9 to see where they are here to complete lap number 7. 8-lap pre-final, so we've cut those down. Oh, contact there off the racetrack. That's the number 896 of Hernandez.
Facundo Hernandez on the AM Racing Team X-Prix now nearly ended up kind of boxed in behind the wall there in the hairpin, and Yago Lempin tried to over-under right there as well. Got forced wide. We've lost a lap here based on the aborted start, it appears, so we're only going to go 9 on the distance for pre-final flight B.
8. So 8. So we're cutting it down to 8 laps for the pre-finals, and 16 laps for the cadets in the mains, 18 laps for the other categories in the main. So we're going to cut a couple of laps off to try to shorten the day just a little bit.
That's right, Rob. Apologies there. Yes, 8 laps for the full-size classes in the pre-finals. That'll mean we'll be 6 laps for the upcoming micro and mini Swift pre-finals as well. Look at this back up towards the front here on this last lap. Back and forth we go for second on back. Truccio, Jaramillo and company all there in the middle of it. This is an over-under move. Max Christie has gone to second ahead of Tyrone Kemper Jr. theosalomao comfortably wins the pre-final lead. Here's Christie, Kemper, second, third, Truccio, Ashton Woon,